Hey everybody, welcome back to the DO Pulse, where we're continuing our series of student profiles. Joining me is Kevin Dwyer, third year student. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, Sid. Glad to be here.
Oh, absolutely. So I know you hail from New York, but we're
sir.
here in Florida at a brand new Florida campus.
Yes, we are.
You know, what do you think of the facilities, of the grounds here?
It's beautiful. I mean, it's creating such a great environment for students to learn in. We have simulations that students can do. They can work with standardized patients right across from FIT, so they can get involved with their community as well. It's setting up the students for success for sure.
Absolutely, and you're on that track for success. As I mentioned, you're a third year student.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about some of your rotations here in the area.
Yeah, so we have done core rotations, which is like family med, internal med, psych, peds. I've also done some electives as well. So I've done pulmonary critical care in the ICU, which I really loved, I fell in love with. I've done interventional cardiology with Dr. Sharma, he's our dean here.
Yes.
And I've done gastroenterology with Dr. Christoffi, which I loved.
So you mentioned your particular interest, pulmonary...
Critical care.
Yeah,
Yep.
critical care. Why that?
Well, first, I guess my mom, she was a cardiac ICU nurse, so I just always had an ICU background from her stories. And just going into that rotation, I kind of wanted to use it as a best way to like learn for internal medicine. But I really love just working with patients and their families and like honestly some of their like most dire times in their lives. And really, if you want to make an impact on a person's life, it's especially at that moment. My doctor was also amazing. He was so compassionate towards family. And he even took so much time away from the patients too to like also teach me and tell me what's the best thing to do in this scenario. So that's why I really liked it as well.
You know, so you brought up your mother. Obviously, your family had an influence in
definitely.
you going into a medical career. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so my mom is a cardiac ICU nurse. My father, he's a retired New York City police officer. So I kind of come from a background of, I guess, serving the community. I remember in high school, my mom let me come in and I got to shadow a cardiac surgeon. And he went to Franklin Marshall College, and that's actually a big reason why I ended up going there as well for undergrad. So I always had, my mom's sisters are also nurses, so I always was kind of pushed a little bit or wanted to go into medicine from their kind of my family's background.
Sure. You know, so I understand that you've been here doing your rotations. Obviously, your first 2 years were in New Mexico. How do you correlate the two, New Mexico and Florida? I mean, I see that, you know, our mission is to help rural areas, to help where there's a need for physicians. Is this what you think?
Absolutely. Florida is in such desperation for more doctors. I mean, some patients are waiting 2 to 3 months to go in to see a physician. And meanwhile, they have issues going on right now. So Florida needs doctors ASAP. So Burrell being here is going to help that and alleviate that going to the future. But New Mexico, I really feel like there I was able to interact with community so much. I was part of Mission Medicine, the pilot program, and there I worked with the Border Servant Corps, which was like migrants coming over from South America, Mexico. They were brought to Las Cruces, and there we got to participate in doing physical exams and medical exams for these migrants before they moved on to the next destination. And I had double majored in biology and Spanish, so there I was able to speak Spanish to these patients, and that's kind of a big reason why I wanted to go to Burrell too, is because to work with those communities. And here in Florida, I see the same thing. On rotations, there are so many Spanish-speaking patients, and they're coming into the clinic, they're so nervous, they're not sure if anyone can understand them. So it's been an unbelievable experience to work with them as well.
So what's the goal, you know?
Yeah, I definitely kind of want to stay in the area. I love Florida, I love the South. I want to pursue pulmonary critical care, GI, or maybe cardiology. So they all go through internal medicine. So I'm hoping to apply to internal medicine residency down here.
You know, it's so important because there is such a shortage of physicians across the country. But when you look at New Mexico and Florida, and we're here in Florida, as we mentioned, and you want to stay in the area, that just says so much. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I'm being from New York. Everyone from New York, I guess myself included, is moving down to Florida.
Because it gets cold in New York.
It gets cold, exactly. But the population here is really going through the roof now. As I mentioned before, patients are waiting 2-3 months to go see a doctor.
Right.
The opportunities for physicians and medical students, I feel like, are endless here. We can learn so much from the community because we see so many patients. So that's a big reason why I want to be down here.
So I know that we're running close on time, but if you could share some words of wisdom, share your experience with incoming students, what would you say?
I say a few things. First off, try to make a schedule and organize a schedule to the best you can. Make a routine. For me, I always tried to work out every day.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to lose about like 30 pounds throughout the first 3 years of med school.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Also, take time with your friends. The students here are like, and not like any other.
Mm-hmm.
If I needed help, they were there right for me. They would take a break from their studying to help me with my studies, and vice versa. It's such a collaborative atmosphere. And third, try to get outside. Try to enjoy. You're in Florida. You're in New Mexico. Enjoy the nice air. Enjoy the hikes.
Absolutely.
And by doing that, it'll refresh you to study as well.
Kevin, much success to you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for your time.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.